I feel good. You know, I definitely would have liked to finish the fight. I definitely felt as if I slowed down in the 5th round, which is something that's uncommon for me. But I do feel good. Anthony Smith was the most experienced person I've ever been in there against, with 70 fights under his belt. And he showed that experience. He was extremely durable. He was extremely calm. I put him in a lot of positions where I felt most people would have freaked out. And he kept his composure. He did a really great job.
A little bit of an odd sequence, of course, with the point deduction. I mean, you had the illegal knee. It looked like maybe there was an illegal kick before that as well. I don't know if that landed or not, but give me an idea kind of what was going through your head as those sequences unfolded, and were you worried? Because we were told that because the foul was ruled intentional, if Anthony could have continued, you would have been disqualified.
Yeah, that was. You know, the first kick, you know, I definitely aimed for his body, and that's where it landed. The illegal knee was totally unintentional. In the moment, I felt his body language rising. I felt his body, you know, rising, and I thought I was getting ready to tie in a great headshot right after he got off of his palm. To my understanding, on his fingertips, he's considered standing. And you know, his body came up, I threw the kick, and I guess his palm was still down. And totally unintentional. Hats off to Anthony Smith for having a lion heart. I mean, I think the average person would have used that as a way out and became a world champion. He was tired. He had been hit with the kitchen sink, and I mean, I did an illegal blow, and he decided to allow the fight to continue. And I'm so proud of him for just being a real warrior out there and continuing to fight.
I know you want to enjoy it tonight and spend time with your team, but Dana was here earlier and he said Thiago Santos looks like the right fight for you next. Give us your take on that. Do you believe that's the right fight for you?
You know, I'm going to talk with my coaches and see what they want me to do. You know, so there's a lot of great fighters in the UFC. Everyone's looking so impressive, and whoever it may be, I'm here to beat them all.
Last thing for me, Jon, I know you said you want to fight frequently, but you always have to check your feet afterwards, see your health. You weren't throwing a lot of kicks out there, so yeah. Give us the health update. I know you're probably going to take some time and figure it out, but as you sit here now, when ideally would you fight again?
Again, I think I'm going to have to just go back to the gym, go back to my coaches. You know, if you guys can't tell, I'm really big on my family. You know, my family and my coaches, and we are a unit. You know, I'm a product of these guys, so I need to talk to the team to see what we're going to do. You know, I need to evaluate my body and see what we're going to do. I can't be making decisions by myself. This is a family thing.
Throw it out there.
Come on, man. Come on, John Morgan.
Congratulations, Jon. Why did you go away from the kicks in the last 2 rounds? Like early on, you were using that spinning back kick, and you used a lot of that stuff, and then it seemed like you were using your hands more, or even trying to go for takedowns as the fight went on. What was the change in strategy?
You know, I've been doing a lot of boxing. I've been working on my hands extensively, the defense and my offense, and I wanted to open up that category in my game when I felt comfortable doing it, and I felt like towards the later rounds I really got a beat on Anthony and what he was capable of, how fast he was, his level of punching power, and honestly I just felt more comfortable exchanging in the later rounds with my hands. Yeah, you know, when you throw punches, it's a little bit more vulnerable to get hit back, where with kicks, you know, you're pretty much at a safe distance. When I felt less vulnerable, I opened up the hands.
Did you feel like in the early part of the fight you were hurting him to the body, where you slowed him down a little bit? It seemed like some of those kicks really had an impact.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think the very first spinning back kick, they had to have taken something out of him. You know, I saw a huge welt across his torso, and a little bit of a bruise under his nipple, and yeah, that was from that first kick. I know that had to have done something.
How would you assess, this is the first time you fought so frequently in quite a long time. How would you assess, like, what was that like for you now that you fought, now you'll go through another camp and fight again? What was that experience like?
It was great, it was a lot of fun. I felt really familiar tonight at work. A little bit too familiar, actually. Like in my warm-up, there was like no nervousness. and that was making me uncomfortable. You know, the fact that they were so nervous, I was almost questioning myself. Am I ready? Am I ready? Am I taking this seriously? No. And I know that I have done everything in my power to be prepared for this, but you know, I think a little bit of nerves are actually a good thing. Tonight, I just felt so doggone comfortable in there. But you know, I feel like that's God's grace too. You know, and like you know, He blesses me to have a sound mind, and so I can't ask for it and then be confused. My mind is sound and at peace with what I'm doing.
Last question for me. When you talk about the nerves and all the stuff going on, it seems like heavyweight would do that. And I was asking Dana about you fighting Brock, right? I mean, I remember in UFC 214, you seemed pretty motivated by that fight. Dana did say he's going to give that fight to Daniel, but is Brock still the guy that you seem hesitant to fight at heavyweight, not Brock? And why would you want to fight this big lug if you don't want to fight the other guys?
Well, I figure if I'm going to make the gamble, you might as well go extremely big. Right? Go big or go home. And a Brock Lesnar fight, I mean, extremely high risk and extremely high reward. I don't really see myself versus anyone that could bring in the numbers me and Brock could bring in.
Hi, Jon.
Hey, what's up, man, Ryan?
I have a question for you. When Anthony was in here after the fight, he said he didn't fight me, he nullified me. And then Dana said Jon fights, he fights to the level of his opponent. Would you reflect on that a little bit? Because it does seem like you did, you didn't want to waste too much energy, and you prepare for your fighter, the person you're going to fight, and you do what you have to do.
Yeah, I feel like in the last round, I definitely could have done more. I'm not really proud of my 5th round, holding him against the cage like that. But at the same time, there's a beloved Randy Couture who made a whole career out of the way I fought in the last round, holding people against the cage and just chipping away at them. I totally fought Anthony. If you look at the stats will show that I totally fought Anthony. And I feel like it was his job to get off the cage. It was his job to make it a fight. He was the one losing. Anthony's very durable, and he's known to come back and win, even in the worst situations. You can beat the crap out of him for 3 rounds, and at the very end of the 3rd round, he can knock you out. He's known for that. So in a world championship fight, if he's going to allow me to hold him against the cage, I'm going to do that. At the end of the day, it's about impressing the fans and being entertaining. I have a lot of pride in being that. But I feel like rounds 1 through 4 was what the fans wanted to see. And then the 5th round was for me and my camp, just to take home back the belt. Yeah.
Jon, what was it like for you? I mean, you've been through everything you've been through over the last few years, and yet you go into this moment in the 4th round where you're waiting on your fate to be determined once more by Herb Dean. What were those seconds like for you?
It was nerve-wracking. It was nerve-wracking, really. I just started to pray. I was just hoping that it wouldn't go down like that. I had flashbacks of the Matt Hamill fight, and I was just thinking, oh my goodness, please tell me this isn't going down like this. And I was just looking at Anthony, and I felt like we locked eyes at a moment, and I kind of gave him one of these, like you're all right, get your ass up. And sure enough, he showed the heart of a lion. Hats off to Anthony, man. He could have done it the easy way, and took that option out. But instead, he stayed in there, and I owe him a beer. At least.
Yeah, and the other thing I wanted to ask you is that like Dana's talked about Thiago Santos being next for you, and I think like the reaction's like, how do you view it? I mean, I know you want to stay in this light heavyweight division, but where you are in your career, isn't there some thought to taking on the most high dollar fights that you can take on as well?
I think all these younger fighters should get their opportunity at a world title. I mean, when you sit in my position, it's like, well, am I just denied people? But I'm not going to really talk ahead too much. I'm going to get with my coaches, and we're a close, tight-knit family. And this career is not mine; it's all of ours. we're going to talk about who we want to fight next, what we want to do next, and just play it like that.
Hey John, from here too, man.
What's up, man?
Congrats, man. I wanted to ask you about the knee again, going back to what you said earlier about the rule, whether it's the palm or the hand. What's interesting is that if you had done that in California, that would have been completely legal. Would have been an illegal knee. It's illegal in Nevada because of just the different rules about which hand is which. Is that confusing for fighters? I mean, it's like that was in California again. That would have been a legal knee, but here, not.
It is confusing. It's a little confusing, but I'm not going to blame the rules or whatnot. I just need to be better. I need to be a professional and know where I'm fighting. If I'm in Nevada, I guess the difference from here to here is it can change a career. It can change what your record is. So I made a mistake. It was an honest mistake. I'm sure because it's me, fans are gonna be like, this dude fucking cheated. He's such a cheater, poking people in the eyes, and now he's kneeing people in the head. I just gotta learn to, take it and keep on ticking.
I'm curious, what was I don't know if you watched that earlier in the fight, Johnny Walker, light heavyweight new division, had another impressive knockout. What are your thoughts on him? It's like, is he like the next coming of the Jon Jones type guy?
And I think there will only be one Jon Jones. But I didn't see the fights. I did get to see Tyrone Woodley's fight, but I didn't get to see any of the earlier fights. And I'm excited about the future of the light heavyweight division. I really feel like God anointed me to be a fighter, and I'm going to have to take on every comer. And the confidence that I had as a 23-year-old facing Shogun Rua has only grown. I believe in myself tremendously, and no one said my job was meant to be easy, but I felt like I'll always make a way to make it happen.
And the last thing for me, what is an oopsie-doo fighter?
Oh, a look-see-doo fighter.
That's what you pronounce, right?
Yeah, you know what? I actually got that from my original fight team. I won't give them a shout out because I think they're assholes. But
you always use that though, or is that new?
No, my original manager came up with it because of what I was doing. I kind of learned how to fight on YouTube, and so I would watch things on YouTube and I would do it. So we just call it like a look-see-do. I look at it, I would see it, and I would do it. And so that's what just happened.
Is there any reason why you went back to that now?
I think they've been saying that the whole time.
They've always said it, okay.
Yeah.
For some reason I never. All right.
Yeah.
Congratulations, John, right here.
Thank you.
So I wanted to know, because you did mention a few minutes ago that the 5th round you felt yourself slowing down. From my estimation, it looked like you were throwing a lot harder than you normally do earlier in the fight. Do you think that was a contributing factor, just trying to put more power behind your punches?
No, I think that's a testament to my striking coaches, especially Coach Twink. He really tries to encourage me to use power. I'm a guy who tries to go 80% at all times just so that I can be in it for the long haul. I believe guys who swing with 100% power, you just pay when you miss. So I like to be, I'm always preserving a little energy in everything I do. And in the 5th round, man, like I said, I feel like the first 4 rounds is what the fans really wanted to see. And the 5th round was really just for me and my family, just to secure the belt. Sometimes you got to do things for the bigger picture. And that was just secure the win. It was up to Anthony to get himself off the cage and to make a fight again. But he was going to allow me to be there. And the smart thing to do, even though it's not entertaining. Just hold him there.
Getting back to Johnny Walker, your picture with him at Fight Week kind of made everybody a little excited. They checked it out on Twitter. So when you took that picture, were you sizing him up?
No. I try to introduce myself to everyone. I feel like giving guys mean mugs and all this type of stuff is showing them too much respect. At the end of the day, I feel like this is my time, this is my era, and I was meant to be here and be a great champion. This belt here is supposed to be covered in red rubies already, and I got a new challenge, and that's to get this thing covered in red rubies. And that means I'm gonna have to beat a lot of ass. And I am up for the challenge. So yeah. What's up, my man?
I think most fighters should receive a to receive a 2-point deduction, especially in the 4th round of a championship fight, would freak them out. How did you feel when it was just a...
The 2-point deduction or whatever, it was a little nerve-wracking, but I felt like the fight was in control. I knew, despite the point reduction, the only way he could win the fight at that point was to somehow get a knockout, and I was pretty aware of that. And I just kept praying in between the rounds, and every moment I had a break to talk to God, I just continued to talk to him, and I knew everything was gonna be all right. All right, I was gonna say you guys slowing down the course because I got an after party to go to. I sure will get out of here.
All right, I don't want to keep it too long. You know, among all your attributes that we talk about so much, I think one of the things that doesn't get talked about enough is your composure. That's one of the things that sets you apart and makes you one of the greatest, if not the greatest. How do you do it?
I don't know, man. I don't know, honestly.
The visualization,
meditation. Yeah, I visualize a lot, meditate a lot. I just know, I ask myself in times of like trouble, it's like, John, do you want to make your situation worse or do you want to make it better? And I like to make things better when I'm in shitty situations. And I know the best thing I can do in the moment is just try to relax, stay calm, focus on what I can control. And that's breathing, staying positive in the mind, letting it happen.
I heard you say after the fight you were a little disappointed with your performance. It was a fantastic performance as far as I could tell. Is it because you didn't get the finish? Is that why you felt upset?
Yeah, I felt like I had Anthony on the breaking point, and tonight I didn't have that extra to put him out. And I think maybe that could be maybe I let myself down in the endurance. So what I will do is work a lot harder for my next fight, and that's all I can do.
Well, because in the 3rd and 4th round, there were some moments where I really thought, you're about to finish this right now.
Yeah.
And is that what you were talking about when you said, because he's extremely durable.
He's extremely durable, yeah. There was moments like when he was sitting on his butt, and I had him against the cage, I was throwing lighter punches, and there was moments where I had him in the front headlock position, and I had his back, and my punches weren't effective enough, and I think that was strictly related to cardio. If I had a stronger gas tank tonight, my punches would have been harder, longer, and so I'll work on that.
And my last question is, you said that you enjoyed actually having an opponent where there's not this rivalry and all this trash talking going on. It kind of seems like all the up-and-comers that are in your division that are gunning for you, it's kind of the same way. There's not really any more bad blood. It's all younger guys that are up and coming. So
yeah,
we look forward to that road.
I'm sure there'll be more bad blood. I'm sure there'll be more bad blood. As of right now, there's no immediate opponent, and there's no real storylines going on. But I'm sure once the fight gets announced, things will spice up nicely.
I saw you photographed with one of your old rivals in Rashad Evans.
Yeah, that was great.
So is that
Rashad's the man, dude.
Mended fences there with him?
Yeah. Obviously the relationship will never quite be the same, but I respect him so much. What he's done in the sport, he was one of the original guys I looked up to, and I just think he deserves respect. He's a classy guy. He's carried the sport very well, and he has my respect despite our history.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, guys, it's been awesome. I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. Thank you to all the fans who watched. Love you guys. Thank you to all my haters for inspiring the shit out of me. And feel free to make it to my after party. Information is on my Instagram page at Johnny Bones. Deuces. Ow!